Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spiral Podcast. Today's the Reaction Monday where I react to things I've seen on social media, give my opinions and takes on it and, just give my thoughts on it essentially. So let's get right into it. The first thing I saw is it was ESPN at a game on Saturday had a photo of Heisman watch, and they had Travis Hunter, Dylan Gabriel, Ashton Genty, Jalen Milroe, and Jackson Dart. And then somebody posted why is Will Howard not on Heisman watch? And why is he not? I never really realized, but Dylan Gabriel, arguably one of the best quarterbacks that people talk about being a Heisman contender. He has 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, and Will Howard as of now has 24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, so better in both touchdowns and interceptions, and has 122 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns. But 6 rushing touchdowns. But nobody ever talks about him. So it's kind of weird. I bet it's just because Oregon beat Ohio State, so they have that win, I guess, and Oregon's undefeated. But statistically, Will Howard is better. So yeah, I feel like not showing him on the Heisman watch is kind of weird. Jackson Dart, even Will Howard has better stats than. So I don't know. I don't really know why. He should probably be in the Heisman watch just because his stats are good. And, he beat Penn State on the road. He did not play amazing, but he's a leader, so he should at least be on the Heisman watch, I feel like. So that's interesting. And then the second thing I saw was the AP poll, top 25 as of week 13. It still has Oregon at 1, and then Ohio State at 2. I feel like that's fine. Texas at 3. Penn State 4, Indiana 5. I don't know. I feel like Texas is honestly a little overrated because if they don't beat Texas A&M, then their best win is Vanderbilt. So, it's easy for SEC fans to say that Big Ten has easy schedules, but that's pretty bad. That's not good. Notre Dame at 6, I like. Alabama at 7 is not terrible. Georgia at 8 is fine. I don't really know if they're the 8th best team in the country, but beating Tennessee gets you there, I guess. I still don't necessarily think Georgia's a team that's going to be able to win the national championship, but I think they could probably make the playoffs now. Ole Miss at 9, I don't know, a little overrated in my opinion, but there's a lot of teams this year that aren't really that great, They're kind of just good. There's a lot of teams that are good and could make the playoffs, but they're not really top tier yet. I think Ole Miss is one of those teams. I think Tennessee is one of those teams. I think Miami is one of those teams. BYU is probably one of those teams. Maybe Colorado. But, yeah, I think Miami's overrated. So, I don't know. I think 11 is fine, but I still think that realistically they should be ranked around 20 just because of how many close games they've had with Virginia Tech, Cal, and then losing to Georgia Tech. So, that's not very good for them. BYU at 14, I feel like it's fair. BYU can still probably make the playoffs if they just make the championship game, but it's going to get interesting with Colorado right there at 16, and they might make the championship game, and if they go head-to-head, then I actually don't know who's going to win that. I think Colorado could have a chance to make the playoffs because of that. Army at 18 is fine, maybe a little overrated, but I think South Carolina is actually one of the better SEC teams this year. I don't know. I feel like Texas A&M needs to be a little bit lower if you're going to have South Carolina at 19 and Texas A&M at 15 since they beat Texas A&M by 20 points. So I don't know why they aren't higher. It's because they have 3 losses, but still a little interesting there. And then the rest of it I'm fine with. Arizona State's pretty sneakily good. And Washington State, they came off a loss, so I don't know if they should be 25 now, but they still have 9 wins, so that's pretty impressive for them. And then the last thing I saw was talking about records that these coaches have had since hiring, and this was against ranked opponents. So Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame's coach for 3 years now, I think. He's 10-4 against ranked teams, and then Brian Kelly is 4-8, and also he said, Notre Dame's probably going to make the playoffs this year, and LSU is officially eliminated. So what do I think of this? I think Brian Kelly's just an overrated coach at this point. He just can't seem to get his players prepared for games or something. I don't know what it is. I think he's too much of an offensive guy sometimes, that his defense is what holds him back a lot. But also, sometimes his offense just doesn't even play good. Nussmeier hasn't been playing amazing recently, so I don't know. I think LSU's just always been a little bit overrated, except for that 2019 team that everybody loves to talk about. But other than that, LSU's never really been like a top team in the SEC. I think they really got a culture problem going on. They think that they're going to be way better, so I don't know if they just like don't try enough or don't try as hard. But yeah, something's wrong at LSU. And then Notre Dame, I think Marcus Freeman is doing the opposite of Brian Kelly. He's building up that culture that Notre Dame kind of needed. And I think it's working out. 10-4 against ranked teams is pretty good. Only losing to Ohio State a few times and then some other good teams. But still, I mean, 10-4 is really good for being a newer coach. Not a lot of coaches can do that at new programs or when they first go into a program. And after his first 3-ish seasons, I mean, 10-4 is really good. And he's building up that culture. He's recruiting well. LSU recruits well, but they don't develop as good, I think, as Notre Dame does. And I think that's why Notre Dame's been playing better recently and that LSU is not in the playoffs because they just develop players better. They make smarter decisions, and I just think, yeah, I mean, Notre Dame's a better team right now. So got to give Marcus Freeman a lot of credit for how he's been able to handle his team and just develop his team into a really good team from what it was, or at least making it just as good. So that's my reaction Monday. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.